What's up everyone, it's Alex, answering viewer questions again. Let's go. This one's going to be two different questions because neither of them is going to take very long to answer, so two questions in this video. First one comes from Ageless Link, and they're referring to the Yamaha SR400 that I've done in a couple of videos. Ageless Link says, you think this would be a good commuter for like a 45 to 50 minute drive? Super easy to answer on that one. I think an SR400 can be a great commuting bike if your commute is in town or if you have back roads to use your commute for. I don't think the SR400 is a great highway / interstate bike, just because if you're doing 70 miles an hour or more, you're not going to have enough power left to really get out of harm's way if you need to. If you're commuting in town or on back roads or any kind of highway where you can do, an average speed of 65 miles an hour or less, then I think an SR400 is a great choice. It's got a nice neutral seating position. It's going to get fantastic fuel economy. The maintenance cost is not going to be outrageous on it if you put a lot of miles on it. So if your commute is in town or on back roads or any kind of highway where the average speed of travel is going to be less than 65 miles an hour or so, SR400 I think is a great bike. Not that it won't do faster than that, but if you're on an interstate or a big highway where you're going to be doing more than 70 miles an hour all the time, it's not going to have enough power to get out of harm's way if you need to. And I find on SR400s, if you're riding over that 60-65 miles an hour a lot, then it's going to get a little bit buzzy in the handlebars and everything. It's not going to be as pleasant an experience. So great commuter bike if your commute is on smaller roads in town. It's going to be like less than 60-65 miles an hour average speed. Not a great commuter bike if you have a long ride to work where you have to ride on big highways, okay? Next question comes from Nicola. I pronounced that wrong. Sorry. Nicola says, hey Alex, unrelated question if you don't mind. What do you think about automatic transmission motorcycles such as those few Honda models? Are they a good option for new riders? Are they safer or easier to ride or perhaps learn on? Cheers. So, automatic motorcycles. Automatic motorcycles come in a few different flavors and varieties from throughout the years. You can get a few automatic motorcycles that are a true automatic transmission like most cars are, where they actually automatically change physical gears. More commonly these days, a lot of automatic stuff in motorcycles and in three-wheel stuff and in your bigger scooters are going to be a CVT, a constantly variable transmission, where it's kind of a belt transmission that's on a big conical gear drive, so it doesn't actually change gears. The belt moves back and forth on a big cone to change speed, so it's basically just one big gear. It just changes at different speeds so that the tension remains correct. I'm not going to get super into the details of how a CVT works, but you've got automatic motorcycles that actually change gears like an traditional automatic car would, and then you have CVT transmissions where it's one big constant variable gear, and there are some cars that do that now too. So here's what I think about the automatic motorcycles. I think they are great for someone who does not want to deal with a clutch or just can't get the hang of a clutch and changing gears. I think they work really, really well in your big scooters. I think they work really, really well in some of the three-wheeled stuff like the Rikers and everything. And I think that some of the automatic motorcycles, some of the actual like Hondas and stuff that are making true automatic motorcycles, I think they work really well. Me, as an experienced motorcycle rider, they kind of freak me out a little bit because I'm so used to changing gears and so used to a clutch. That's what I learned on. That's what I developed my skills on. So they kind of throw me through a loop a little bit because I'm so used to grabbing the clutch and changing gears and everything like that. So that's the skills that I built. If you're gonna ride motorcycles, if you're a beginner and you're looking at automatic motorcycles, if all you ever plan to ride is automatic motorcycles, that's great. It's one less thing for you to think about. You don't have to think about changing gears. You don't have to think about a clutch. You can just ride, brake, and develop those skills. However, as a beginner, I would much more highly recommend that you try to learn and develop your skills on a traditional manual motorcycle first, because then that opens up a much broader world of motorcycling to you. You will not be limited for the rest of your motorcycle riding to only automatic motorcycles. You will have the entire spectrum of motorcycles to choose from. So if you learn to ride and develop your skills on a manual motorcycle, then you can choose from all the regular manual motorcycles out there, or you can choose automatic motorcycles and you can ride both. If you learn on automatic, similar to learning to drive only an automatic car, you hinder yourself later on possibly not being able to get a motorcycle that would be the perfect motorcycle for you because it's a manual. I hope that makes sense, guys. So I don't recommend people start on an automatic if they can learn a manual. If you have an issue with your hands where you cannot operate a clutch, if you have an issue with your foot where you cannot operate a foot shift, if you have another reason where you simply cannot learn or cannot handle a manual motorcycle, then yes, automatic motorcycles are great. There's plenty of safe ones now. There's plenty of good models that you can get in an automatic. But I would highly recommend, if at all possible, you learn on a manual motorcycle. Take a motorcycle safety course because they will teach you to do it. Learn to ride safely on a manual so you will have the entire world of motorcycling open to you later and not be limited only to automatic motorcycles. I hope that makes sense, and I hope that answers your question to the best of my ability. That's it, guys. I'm Alex. Peace.